There I am. Sorry, my entire thing went kablooey just as I was getting started. And I had to completely reset my chat link, or my URL, so I'm going to actually send out my stream again so that people actually know where to find me, because the last one doesn't exist anymore. So let me share this out. That happened 2 minutes before I went live. And I'm just going to put this out on Social Stream really quick. I probably should have done this before I went live, but when the whole thing goes kablooey, you don't really think. So let's have some fun with this. There we go. There's the link. Yay. And why don't we just put it on... No, I don't want that. Why don't we put it on Facebook while I'm at it? That'll be kind of fun too. So much fun to start out, right? There we go. Post that. And now we're done. What great entertainment. Anyway, so now I have a viewer. All right, so let's take a look at this. So this is one that I wanted to actually back when it came out originally on Kickstarter or BackerKit. I forget what it came out on. And I was just in between funds at the moment, so I was kind of stuck. And now I had contacted Exalted Funeral. Exalted Funeral had contacted me to want to talk and see about ways that we could partner moving forward. And they had actually reached out to me and said, hey, we have a review copy of The Land of Eam. And I responded to the very nice gentleman, Andrew, who reached out. I was like, well, I backed that already, so there's really no point in sending me a Land of Eam. I'm expecting to get that in already. But in the future, if you have review copies available for the Monty Python role-playing game, I wouldn't mind being included in that. And wouldn't you know it, rather quick after that, Andrew said, hey, I've got your order ready for the review packet of the Monty Cook. I'm going to say that all night, aren't I? The Monty Python RPG. Just let us know when you're going to do it. And well, I'm doing a first look now. I started reading it. I thought it was going to take me forever to read. It's probably going to take me about a week or so. And it's not even that it's a bad game that's going to take me forever to read. It's just really kind of interesting. And I'm hoping chat works. So if people are talking, we'll see what happens. But here's what got sent to me in the package. Let's see if I hit the right button real quick. This blew my mind. So first off, you have a dice catapult, which I'm not going to open tonight. Sorry, I want to keep my thumbs, and I'm not good at doing blister packs, and I don't feel like cutting that open real quick. And then you have these, which actually are part of the game. You have merits and demerits, which come into play at different parts during the mechanics, which I did to open up tonight. So I'm just going to see if I can get these pops completely open. We'll show them outside their packaging. All sorts of plastic. Yes. So I'll take a demerit out anyway. So one demerit. It's actually really nice, isn't it? I'm using my iPhone as my desk camera, as my preview camera. That's kind of fun. I'll unpack these fully later, but we'll put those over there. There we go. And these dice I'm going to take out and look in a little bit. This blew my mind. It is the coconut dice roller. So if you want, can someone leave a comment for me? Because I don't know if my chat is actually active. And if it's not, and you have a contact with me somewhere else, just let me know. But coconut dice rollers. 2 of them, as a matter of fact, because you got 2 halves of coconuts to go. That's just awesome. So that's kind of fun. Would I buy that normally? Probably not for a normal game, but for this, I probably would have, because why not? And then you have the dice. The dice are really interesting because the dice do not use just the standard polyhedral dice. And I got 5 viewers, so if you're commenting, I can't see. So I'm going to have to take a look at that. And I'll take a look on my iPad really quick. So not standard polyhedrals. It's got basically the Dungeon Crawl Classics polyhedral. So it's got like the D16 and the D30, the D18. It's really kind of fun. And these do come into play in the game. I'll show you that in a little bit. And I love the case, the monster from Holy Grail, which is great. And I'm just going to see if people are commenting really quick. I don't know if I need to get my thing up. Let's go through here. View on YouTube. Are people commenting? So yes, people are commenting and I'm not seeing it. So give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to try to restart this. Activate the source. Nope, I'm not seeing anything. Give me a second here. It decided it wanted to activate selected. Ah, there we go. I see everything now. So, of course, this isn't refreshing over here. I see me, but nobody else. I don't know. We'll see how it works. Refresh. Is everybody there? All right. Everything's broken, and I'm really sorry. Give me a second here. Social stream. Copy link. Everything was working, and then it blew up, and that kind of made me upset. So let me reset my custom browser doc here. Apply. So I'm seeing the chat here, but I'm not. Yeah, spam. Oh, there we go. Spam, 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 and spam. Yay, look at that. We finally got it back. So there we go. Everything works now. This is what happens when the stream goes kablooey when you're starting. But yes, it's spam, spam. And actually, spam comes into play in the game. We'll talk about that in a little bit. So yeah, really cool stuff that they came in. This book is fantastic. Let me go to main screen. I really thought that. Thank you, Dave, for your test message. I really thought that this game was going to take me forever to read, and I've said it a couple times in videos already. It is because the game it's written like a Monty Python sketch. So I was just assuming that I was going to take forever to read because I was going to be looking at every single item on the page, looking for that thing that was going to cause me to laugh hysterically, which I am actually doing, but I'm surprising myself that I'm actually getting through it really fast with not spending a whole lot of time reading it, which is fun. So let's look at the structure of the book really quick. Go to my book. So, it's a pretty thick book. It comes in at that's A4. Let's see, about just over 350 pages, basically. It is glossy paper, which makes me sad, but it has a book ribbon, which makes me happy. So that's really fun. The front and back cover pages have these amazing charts on it, like answers. Yes, no. The primary challenge lies in addressing the renomoralize, I have no idea, of gravity, which leads to divergences and renders the theory of non-predictive. One approach positives that the fundamental constituents of the universe are not point-like particles, but rather one-dimensional extended objects called strings. So it basically puts string theory on the front inside cover of the game. It's absolutely insane. Thoughtful expression selector down here, mount selector. You can have different types of dogs. It is utterly say the shop generator is absolutely hysterical. But then you get into the actual, and sorry for the glare from the page or from the lights, but you get into the interior of the game, and it's designed like Monty Python made it. I mean, originally with original art. I love the fact that they left like the printer's marks down on the bottom just to like say, oh, you screwed this up. It's like during your next sermon, you should bring up how the French already had Holy Grail and the English got defeated by a flying cow. Why do you think I have? Why do you assume I have not done that yet? I don't understand. You saw it Exalted Funeral booth at PAX. Yeah, 20. It's an absolute beautiful game. It's really, really fun. What did Matthew ask? So cheese shop generator. That is actually one of the things that's in there as well. Also, wait till when you see like death and dying is absolutely hysterical. So they do have proper behavior. So likewise, we henceforth prescribe, prohibit, forbid, ban, outlaw, and condemn any use of bad faith, mean-spirited words or deeds from anyone whilst utilizing this program. Those doing so are to be read the following. You are hereby found to be willfully, unlawfully, and with malice aforethought in violation of the Anti-Tit, Tosser, Bully, Ass, and Wanker Act, Section 4, Clause 3B, and are sentenced to bugger off out of it until you can behave like a decent human being again. That's basically their session 0 role. I mean, it's really, really fun. Another game I would play, but I don't think AI could run. Yes, AI could not run this game. I mean, you have Ralph the Wonder Llama is here. Llamas do play, pretty good appearances. They have some nice cameos to it. This is a background of English history. And then we're going to get into traits, but I want to show you that over on the PDF. But this is the structure of the book. It is just absolutely beautiful. And let's talk about a little bit of the mechanics real quick. So the mechanics of the game are interesting because essentially everything in the game is a contested role. I'm just here for an argument. No, you're not. The Holy Hand Grenade. The Holy Hand Grenade is actually one of the accoutrements that you can have in the game. We'll talk about that in a little bit. I think you can also have the Book of Armaments, if I am remembering correctly. But essentially, every role in the game is a contested role. So you have these. I forget what they're not attributes. They're traits. So they call them traits in this game. There's a number of them, and they actually all have a die type that it's essentially almost like a dice chain in Dungeon Crawl Classic. So your attribute can go up and down on the dice chain depending on how you roll. And then whoever you're in contest with is going to roll a trait that's either identical if it's like a 1-to-1 ratio, or a trait that kind of that would go along with it. So if you're trying to insult someone, maybe you're attacking their purpose, and so they have to roll, and the higher number wins. As basically, I don't know what the heck I have on my shirt here. Anyway, and that's basically how the game works. It's all just contested rolls, and it's really, really fast, and it's very, very cool. Wingus. So yeah, Monty Python. I always worry about these kinds of games not capturing the IP correctly. This feels like you are reading Monty Python. I can't stress that enough. I was dying every time I've read it. I found something that I've absolutely died laughing over. It's very, not literally, but figuratively speaking, really, really, really well done. And I want to take a look at the way that the game, or the character sheet real quick, just so you can see exactly how this dice chain concept works. So I am now off camera, but my voice is still working. Yay! So you can see there's two, let me get my mouse over the right spot. So there's two traits that are listed here, purpose and chastity. I don't think these are editable. They are not editable. And what happens is you put your purpose and chastity in. These are your two traits. They have two extremes. You have purposeful and Weltschmerz, which I think is world weary. And then chastity, you have chaste and naughty. They're very big on naughty. And essentially your trait is going to lie. You're going to basically X on one of these dice, and that is the die that you are going to roll. And you see D20, D18, D16, D14, D12, 10, 8, 6, and 4. And they'll have a bit too really, quite rather, a bit neither really, a bit rather, quite, and a bit too really, which is fun. This over here is for your accoutrements, because you can have one accoutrement. Essentially, an accoutrement is your equipment list that you can have, and you can have one accoutrement per trait, I think, and one accoutrement per retainer, if you have a retainer that comes in. So you can have Patsy following you around, right? But let's go back to this thing. And so you basically will put an X where your current die is, and you will roll that die. So this is going to be a little bit tricky. So let's get out the D12. Where's the D12? Here it is. So I'm just going to get out the D12. There it is. A 1 is the boot. So you do not want to roll a 1. That would be bad. And you kind of want to roll a 12, because what's going to happen is I rolled a 5. But if I rolled a 12, there it is. So if I roll a 12, that die would explode, but it wouldn't explode with just a 12. It would explode then with the D14. So I'll get the D14 out, if I can get it out. So there's the D14, not a standard polyhedral dice. I'll roll that. Oh, and see, that's a D14. So I go from a D12 to a D14, and then I get to roll again. I get to roll the D16, which is this die. Go back over to the book. So here's my D16. I got to find my, there we go. I think that's a D16. Yes, I get to roll that, and I rolled a 13. So that's, so exploding dice. So I got a 12, a 14, so 26 plus a 13, 39. So obviously that's going to be hard to beat. However, because of the way the game is set up, nobody really likes someone who is too good at something. They just get annoyed at it. So if you ever roll a die going over 20, you will get 1 demerit for just being too uppity, which I think is absolutely hysterical. And if you get so many demerits, essentially what happens is that you go into something called bestrewment, and you suffer penalties. You have to roll on a table for that, which is kind of fun. And the other cool thing that happens is if you roll a 1 on a die, well, that you fail at whatever you're doing, but also your die type goes down. And so you're constantly going down and down and down and down and down. And then when you beshrew, you essentially erase all your demerits, because nobody's angry with you anymore, because you got what was coming to you, and you get to start over, it's really kind of bizarre. And the different things that can happen to you when you're beshrewed is absolutely funny. And rolling like exploding dice, it's called a strewing, a struth. You struth, like you're strewing out dice like strawberries. Really, really fun. And yes, Wingus, that's exactly it. It's the whole game is like nobody likes a show off. It is really, it's so well done. You can also get merits for certain actions in the game. But that's basically it. Really fun stuff. And that's the way the mechanics work. There are no like hit points or THAC0 or hitting armor class in the game. Essentially, if you hit someone, you can give them a bit of death, like 1 bit of death, and you can actually spend a merit to like not take the bit of death, or 2 bits of death. You get them, or you get two bits of loony, because your character can also suffer mental trauma, and that's down here on the bottom of the character sheet. And let me zoom in here a little bit if I can get that active. You can see you have fine, getting better, not dead yet, virtually dead, no more. This is an ex-parrot. And then Reginald Malding, sensible, daft, balmy, crackers, and coconuts. So that's always kind of fun. It's just utterly bizarre. There is also, you should demo the game for your congregation. Well, Eric, to tell you the truth, I don't need to, because the game is going to be played twice at EcclesiaCon. So that's actually going to be a lot of fun. So if you want to, show up to go to EcclesiaCon, you can probably play this game. If the table's not filled yet, it's going to fill pretty quick. The other cool thing that I like about it is that there's no standard currency for the game. So you can use acorns, cheese, eggs, gemstones, gold, lupins, naughty pictures, plague dead bodies, upper class twit trading cards, and Wizzo butter. And you can go to one town and all they take are plague dead bodies. Because it's just there's no reason for it. It's just because. Very, very, very hysterical stuff. And we have to and we'll have you on to talk about it. Yes, we will be on to Talking Gamers on Games to talk about EcclesiaCon. And Eric, yes, I also wish that you could come to EcclesiaCon. What kind of adventures are you supposed to run? Does the game guide you to give examples? I have not gotten there into the book yet, but the game does have sample adventures in the back. Here's the cool thing about the game. It tells you very pointedly to not go for being funny. Because if you watch Monty Python, what makes it hysterical is that these people are absolutely dead serious in what they are doing. It is the ridiculousness of the seriousness for the situation that they're in. That's what makes Monty Python absolutely hysterical. And so they literally tell you that you're to play this straight up, deadpan, as much as possible, and just let the absurdity of the situation make it hysterical. And they do a really good job of doing this by basically insulting you the way that Monty Python would insult you, which is, again, so well done. One of my favorite aspects of the game, this is my coolest mechanic of the game because it's not really a mechanic. Monty Python, and it's officially titled, let's get the thing, or you can read the cover over there. The Monty Python's Cocurricular Medieval Reenactment Program role-playing game. No, it isn't. It's not a game. It's a serious historical reenactment. There's no role-playing here, no fancy dress. It's serious work. That's literally a quote from the book. So one of the things they do, it has one of the greatest essays that I've seen on encouraging people to not just read their sheet to do the game. It literally is like, do not do this. Do not say, I'm using my purpose. No, that is not helpful. And in fact, they have like helpful examples, which constantly people are doing that. Like, no, that is completely irrelevant. Tell me something that you're actually going to do. And so like, you're supposed to literally just describe what you're doing with as much detail as possible. But here's the thing. If you do it with so much detail that it's not a GM in this game, it is the head of light entertainment, or hull. So you're going to be stuffing a lot of things at your hull. If they are so impressed with how you describe your action, they might look at you and say, Intercourse the dice. Yeah, I mean, just play that through your head for a minute and figure out what they're actually saying, because it actually took me a little bit. So that literally is a mechanic in the game, and basically you'd be like, Intercourse the dice, and they don't have to roll, they just succeed because you described it so well. Why would you want to mess with that? You know that when you have the rule of cool in D&D and you're like, yeah, that sounds so cool. And then they roll a 3 and you're like, sorry, it would have been really cool, but no. But in this game, it says, no. If they do a really good job describing what they want to do, just have it happen. It doesn't matter. And that's just absolutely amazing. Just say what you want to do. That's exactly what you want to do, but with as much detail as possible. You can make up stuff till your heart's content about like their dead uncle, or like what chickens they have and their favorite hen, like whatever you want to do to describe how you're dealing with this current situation. You just make it up as you go along, and suddenly it's canon because that's just what you do. And if that impresses the head of light entertainment, then it happens. Intercourse the dice. I just love that they threw that in the game. Really, really fun. So that's the way this whole game is set up. It's absurd, and I love everything about it. And you can see just as I hit my camera. So you can see the beginning here. Let me get my mouse over here. So they have this opening essay, and I will read it to you. Actually, this is a letter from the Pythons, who are very upset about this. Let me get this. Okay, here we go. Warning. Right, let's get one thing jolly well clear. There's nothing silly about English history. In the following examination thereof, we will not have any naughty bits, strange voices, or quoting of second-rate films, particularly those containing naughty bits and strange voices. There is to be no role-playing, as nothing could be less serious than prancing out in fancy dress, pretending to be knights, enchanters, and shrubbers from a pivotal and terribly misunderstood period of history. The program contained herein is intended strictly for those earnest in their desire to gain a greater understanding for how Britain came to be and those plucky chaps who had a go at the Holy Grail, etc. I warn you that should you find yourself at any point having a bit of a titter, putting on airs, or generally extracting the urine, to use the modern parlance, out of our forebears and the great sacrifices they made in order to lay the foundation for what would become Great Britain, you shall be subject to sanction, reprimand, demerit, and other repercussions, all of them quite serious, I assure you. That's the game. Like, literally the game is take yourself seriously so the game can be absurd. Like, I want to play this. This is great. I really am looking forward to running this at some point. Really simple mechanics, really absolutely absurd, and just fast at the table. Merits, demerits, bizarro dice, coconut dice rollers, dice catapults. I don't know what to say. And just look at this book. Just open up to a random page. The charts are really good. This is the other thing that I have not gotten here yet. So you don't just play the head of light entertainment in the game, playing all the NPCs. You take on a persona as the head of light entertainment. Each one has different likes and dislikes. Each one has demerit triggers, and will basically beshrewment. Here's the chart for some of the beshrewments that you can have. I haven't gotten to this part yet, but you can become like a high upper class twat. And that's basically your persona running the game. So like, you're not just role-playing NPCs, you're role-playing as the game master. It just is absolutely insane. Yeah, and Justin, I think this would be one. Justin said looks fun to play, but even more fun to watch others play. I think I would die to watch Monty Python, the people from it, actually play this game. Because I don't think I'd be breathing. I'd be laughing so hard because it's set up perfectly to be what they have. It's so much fun. So here's where you have one of your traits, decorum. You have decorous, and then fart in your general direction is the other extreme of that. And now for something completely different, yes. And then here's your D10 for your accoutrements. You can only have one per trait that you have. And it took me a while. They actually have what each of the items is pictured here because I was actually Googling them at some point. I didn't know what a wimple was. Actually, now I know what it looks like. It looks like that. I don't know. And yeah, that would be absolutely amazing to have them play this game. And this is Carrie. I did mention that this is this is being run at EcclesiaCon, and Carrie is the one who is running it. And Carrie will lean into the absurdity really, really well. Carrie, what persona do you want your head of light entertainment to take on? What kind of personality are you going to take, or are you going to take a different one at each game? Should be fun. And now for something completely different, it would be a great mechanic for moving to a different scene. It might be there. I'm only on page 99, and I haven't gotten to like the head of light entertainment section. So that might be something that you have to go into and see. Just so much fun. Absolutely fun. Oh, and the other cool thing is that if your PC does happen to become no more, and you have a retainer sitting around, basically they just get elevated to becoming your PC, and now you're them. You just take over and off they go. Likely a little different in each game, just on principle. Very good. Carrie, how many times are you running it at EcclesiaCon? I know it was being run twice, but I don't know if it was being run any more than that. Really, if you're in South Jersey area and you want to come, those games are going to fill up quick because everybody has said, "Hey, we have a Monty Python game." They go, "I want to run that now. Let's go." And they did a really good job with it. It is an absolutely beautiful book, so well designed, and it just leans into the bit of the book. They also have dice. I wish you actually had more of this. So Carrie is running it twice at EcclesiaCon. But let me get this die out here. So they do have dice for your character. No more. It's an ex-parrot. Fine, fine. Getting better. I feel happy. Not dead yet. Virtually dead. He'll be stone dead in a minute. No more. Just the little bits of it, perfect, and the dice are really, really, really good. And the I did put in, I have to edit that, but Go Birds is no longer valid for EcclesiaCon, although I might actually make that active again because I'm still celebrating the fact that the Eagles won the Super Bowl. It makes me happy. But that's all I got. What I am going to do is probably, excuse me, probably next week, I will do a really quick stream for members only. I do have to have some stuff that's just for members only, where I will build a character, because I do have a blank version of the character sheet, and I will show you some of the partially filled, anyway, character sheets. They put their, this is their special abilities, because everybody in their character, they all have different situations, is what their class is called. They all have these different abilities that you can roll like once per time, and it regenerates. But here you have Eremite is their situation. Lower class, they don't have any cash, and their lorefulness and heartiness, hardy and herdy. Basically, you're just going to set them up you're going to build off of this. So I'm going to start one from scratch just to see how that goes. Because what happens is you get basically through your situation, you usually get one or two and maybe a retainer in there. And then for the remaining, excuse me, I gotta take a drink of water here. Much better. And then for your remaining slots, because you can see that you have 3 of them, you can put either a retainer or a trait that's in there. Retainers can carry more accoutrements that will keep you from dying more, because you can actually sacrifice an accoutrement to stay to put off taking bits of death or bits of loony, but they don't go up or down because they don't have dice. So you can become pretty powerful if you get all these traits, but you roll bad and suddenly you can go down to a D4 and things get a little rough. So I'm going to build out a character and show you how that works probably next week sometime. And then again, that'll be a members only stream. I do make my members only streams for everybody a little bit afterwards. I don't want to keep them locked away through a paywall for very long. But if you want to take if you want to take part in the chat during the live stream, being a member is one of the things that you can do. And it's not that much. You just become a coffee contributor. You help DM Tales do things like being able to back Kickstarter, so I don't have holes where I have to say, hey, you give me a review copy, because I like supporting the publishers. I'm always grateful for the stuff, but I do like to pay for the things that I get. And when YouTube gives me payouts, I get to do that and maybe go to a convention or two and meet some folks and have more people to interview. That's the kind of stuff that I like to do. So next week, let me get my schedule up here. I do have a video that I am currently editing. If you read my website, you've seen the written form of it. It is looking at the 2 games that I've used to run superhero RPG sessions since Supervember, Sentinel Comics RPG and Monty Cook's Cypher System with superhero add-ons to it, the cool power shifts. And I compare how they do at creating that comic book feel and why I like these particular 2 games for it. So I have that recorded. I have the base cut done. Now I just have to go through and do some edits for it. Hopefully I'll have that up by the end of the week. Next week, I actually have 2 live streams scheduled, which is why I might not get to the character creation, although I want to. Maybe I'll even do that this weekend, but I'll let people go. See you, Dave, for Gamers on Games. But next week on February 24th, I am going to be interviewing Joe Wetzel from Inkwell Ideas. They have a new deck coming out which is for hexploration. So you can like a deck to build like a hex crawl, and that just looks really cool. Joe had reached out and said, "Hey, you want to talk about this?" I was like, "Yes." And then I'm also going to be talking with, as I bring up this, I'm going to be talking with Jason Campbell from Shadow Main. We're going to be talking about his new murder mystery, which is being put out both for Brindlewood Bay and a standalone version, which is based on a light version of the Cypher system, and that is called Hint. So that's going to be on the February 26th. So I think it's Monday and Wednesday. I'm really looking forward to this. I haven't done a bunch of live streams in a long time, so it's kind of fun that I suddenly have this flood of them. And I hope folks will come out and enjoy and have fun. Listen, I didn't have a whole lot planned for this. I just wanted to show you the game and to talk about what I really liked about it. And look for a full review of it pretty soon. Like I said, I'm reading this right now. We'll get it done pretty quick, but it's launching. I think it's expected to be released next month. And so when you see it for sale, if you are interested at all, just pick it up, because I have a feeling this is going to sell out pretty quick. It's going to be pretty popular. It is wonderfully absurd. I can't say enough good things about it. It's utterly bizarre. And I know this is a review copy, but I am not being paid to say good things about it. They just did a really good job with this game. So that's what I got. Justin, welcome back from Florida. It's cold here, and I do not feel bad for you at all, because I was stuck through it all while you were in the warmth. And thank you so much for being on chat and having some fun. Carrie, thank you for coming on and letting us know what you're planning for your cool game. Are you running the pre-gen adventures, or did you write your own for EcclesiaCon? Inquiring minds want to know. But thank you all for being on. Really having a lot of fun. I got a backlog of stuff. I am working on the Path of Glory review, some cool things that I've written out, and this is my joy. Like, I love doing this for folks, and I love that folks can come on and enjoy it with me. So thank you so much for doing it, and until we see each other again, folks, happy playing, everyone.